Hello there and welcome to Andersen Acres, a cute little hobby farm located in the heart of the Canadian prairies. We just wanted to show you around our farm today and answer some questions we sometimes get regarding hobby farming and our little endeavor out here. I'm often asked how we got started and what kind of things did we consider when we were getting started. So if you're going to get into hobby farming, the first thing you absolutely need to know is, yes, it's a hobby. It's also an awful lot of work. Ignore the chickens following me. They're being a little strange. Got a couple over here. Cat. More chickens. Anyway, it is an awful lot of work around here. Even though we love it, even though it is exciting and rewarding, there is no way it's not a ton of work. Ignore any chicken squawks you hear. We have a rooster who's being a little strange right now. So if you want to get into hobby farming, there are some considerations. There's a horse over there. And the first thing you want to think about is the land you're using. So if you've already bought land, obviously you are where you are, and it's not that easy to change that. But if you're looking to buy land, you really want to think about what animals you want and what your goals are. So if you want cattle or horses, for example, hello Shadowfax. But if you want cattle or horses, then you're going to probably want something flatter. If you have goats, you might be able to have a steeper area, maybe with some hills. But cattle, horses, often pigs, they don't do really well when you're on steep, icy areas, especially if you get into an area where it's quite cold. That's just them eating. So flat if you can, if you're going to have animals that require flat. That is Gwen, one of our barn cats. She's fantastic and beautiful. Isn't she? Gorgeous. Very photogenic, Gwen. Not like your brother Damien. Anyway, so once you've picked your land, then you can get started. Now, the only thing I don't love about our land, now we have beautiful land. We've got a nice big hayfield back there, nice flat areas. I don't love that we don't have a built-in water source. There's really no pond, there's no river. There's a creek really far back in the property, but that creek is not full of water most of the time. So if you have a natural water source, that's even better. However, you can just use a hose. It's not that big a deal. So you want to make sure your land is big enough for what you're going to do. So we only ever wanted one little horse, a couple of goats, a bunch of chickens, and some rabbits. So our little area here is quite large enough, even though we have quite a bit more space over there if we wanted. When you're situating your little barns and your coops and whatever else you may need, you're going to want to look around your land and decide where to put your barns. We put them at this end, even though we have all that space back behind those trees and a nice big empty area. I'll just walk back that way and show you the empty area I'm talking about. It looks like it would be perfect for a little barn. However, that whole back area beyond the fence in those trees, that floods. So that's a terrible place for a barn unless I want to bring it up. I do not want to bring in a bunch of fill. I just want to build my barn. So therefore we're over here. This is a higher area. Nice and high. Gwen is back. Yes, beautiful. Yes, you're the most lovely, beautiful cat in the world. Yes, you are. Yes. So we're over here because it doesn't flood. It stays pretty dry 95% of the time. I'm just going to go back around and go inside the pen. So you also want to check before you build anything, do you need permits? I don't need permits for these buildings because they are less than 120 square feet, and in our municipality, that is all that you have to do is stay under 120 square feet. You can build without a permit. Going this way, going this way. A little bit of a mess because it's fall and we're doing fall cleanup, and for some reason, cleaning up always makes things much messier than they started. Cute little sign that I love. I don't remember who painted it for me, but if you painted it for me, thank goodness. I love it. So we're just going to go inside the barn. That was a solar light. Sorry for passing the camera so close to it. Didn't mean to. You also want to check to make sure that the animals you want, chicken, are allowed in your zone. So if you're just doing things like chickens and rabbits, they're allowed in an awful lot of places. So even a lot of towns and cities will allow you to have chickens, and things like rabbits or even quail are not typically regulated. That coop's empty, by the way, so don't look for what's in it because it's not there right now. So check your local laws because you do not want to get in trouble by getting a horse when you're not supposed to. We are fine because we have nearly 20 acres and there's a goat with a head stuck in a feeder, but you know, we're just going to leave her there because she's actually not stuck. She just got her head in there. All right, so once you've picked your location and you've situated your barns, it's time to really think about what kind of animals you're going to get. Because we knew we wanted a horse, so we needed a shelter. This is the shelter for the horse. A shelter big enough to put the horse in. It's a 10 by 10 barn. He's a mini horse, so he does not require much more than that. So nice little barn just for him, plenty of ventilation. We'll talk more about that in later videos. But we also knew we wanted a couple of goats. They're down there. See a goat butt sticking out and a little goat laying on the ground beside Shadowfax. So we knew we wanted a horse and a couple of goats so they can house together. We also knew we wanted chickens because doesn't everyone want chickens? So they have their own barn. That's the first barn we walked past. That one over there. So we knew we wanted chickens, so we needed a building appropriate for chickens. Now, originally we were only going to get 6 chickens. Does that look like 6 chickens? Sure. That doesn't even count the ones that are currently inside the coop, or the ones that are free-ranging all over the place right now. So we're just going to go with 6. Yeah, that's 6 chickens. So once you know what animals you want to get, by the way, we have rabbits too. They are over in that area. We'll get to that in a later video. But once you know what you would like, then you want to do some research. The last thing you want to do, there's a whole bunch of chickens in there. The last thing you want to do is get an animal and you don't know anything about it. So before you get your chickens, figure out what breed you want, what type of chicken. Do you want a meat chicken? Are you looking for eggs? Do you just want something fancy like these silkies? They're beautiful. She lays great eggs. He doesn't do anything. He's kind of useless, but he's awesome. So you have to figure out what you want. Do your research. Know what you're doing before you start doing it. The number of people, Silky, the number of people who get started in hobby farming but don't really know what they're doing is kind of astounding. So you definitely want to know what you're doing before you do it. You also might want to meet some of the animals you're thinking of getting. So if you want chickens but you've not spent a lot of time around chickens, maybe see if you know someone who has chickens, or if you can go to a sale or an auction where they have chickens, and then you can meet a bunch of chickens, see if you even like them. You don't want to go and get a bunch of chicks and then turns out 3 weeks later, not so fun. Let's take a peek in here, see if we can see a mama with babies. She might be in here. Ah, yes. Mama with babies, not the leghorn. The silky mix in the back, she has little tiny babies. I'll just pull out and leave her be. I just stepped on somebody. Sorry about that, Phoebe. Yes, all our chickens have names. So you want to get to know the animals you're thinking about. Cats again. Over there. That's Winter. Beautiful cat. So do your research, get to know them before you get them. If you're not sure what to start with, I usually recommend starting with chickens. Ta-da! Because everybody wants chickens. Quite frankly, everybody wants chickens. You might also want to start with quail. They're pretty good. I'll take you over to where our quail are. I hadn't mentioned them before. That's because they were an unexpected purchase that my older son made. I was not prepped for quail, sorry. We were always prepped for chickens. We had to learn about quail on the fly. That's not that much fun. So again, you're going to want to research before you get something. So in here, we have a bunch of quail. Now they're hilarious and I highly recommend quail. Learn a little bit about them before you get them. And you're going to have a great time because they are honestly awesome. That is a silkie named Buffman. Don't ask. I didn't name him. Someone else I did not name? This little tiny girl. That's Princess Orange. I didn't name her. Don't come at me. You also might want to consider rabbits, because rabbits are actually really easy to provide a really good home for. Now, I don't really like keeping mine on wire, so most of mine are on the ground. So if we come over here, I'm not going to open this gate right now, just because I don't have a free hand. But you'll see we've got one rabbit free ranging. That's her son in that pen. We're keeping him because he's awesome, but he's too small to free range because he'll slip right through this bigger wire. So he's got to stay in that hutch for now. We also have, I'm staying on the outside. So we're not going to take a look at him. Oh, he's over there. He came out. Beautiful Flemish. He's only about 4 months old. He's going to get gigantic. Back. And he has who is in the house right now. Loki, over here, the big mama running around, is also a purebred Rex. There she is. Right down on the ground there. Having a good old time eating grass. And obviously her son is a purebred Rex because Papa is Slate over there. Nice big guy. So we're just going to walk back this way. So rabbits, quail, chicken, great place to start. They're not that difficult. They're not that expensive. And if you decide you absolutely can't do it, it's pretty easy to rehome them. So the other thing you want to do when you're starting your hobby farm is figure out what your goal is. My goal is to have fun. I absolutely adore these chickens. My goats are hilarious. And the little mini horse is my son's. And I didn't think I liked mini horses, but turns out I do. So we're here for the fun. Sorry, just spinning it around just because the way I go through the gate just to make sure nobody gets out. Guys, we are not going for a walk right now. Knock it off. Excuse me, buddy. Thank you. So my goal was to have fun. Now, if your goal is to make money, hobby farming might not be for you. It's going to eat more money than you make. Now, at this point, we kind of are even on the money just because I sell baby chicks. I sell hatching eggs. I sell eating eggs. There's these guys. I'm going to get that girl's head out of there just because. So forgive me for a moment. Her horns are stuck. So forgive me for a moment. You can look at baby Arwen. Well, if you didn't stick your head in here, baby. Hi, Arwen. Yes, hi, Arwen. There we go. You're good now. So if you're looking to make money, hobby farming's probably not for you, but that's okay. You can find a different hobby. We break even, sort of. Buying cat food for these little monsters. Hi, guys. Moustache, by the way. So if you're in it for the money, find a different hobby. But if you're just in it for the joy, a profit, but it's sure fun. So there are a few things I wish I had known before. And one of the things I wish I had known is that you need way more money than you think you need. Someone's going to need a vet. You're going to have to buy an extra bag of feed. Stop eating paint, Tigger. Thank you. Sorry, we had Tigger over here. Eating white paint. Not good. So yeah, I wish I had known how much money it was going to eat. Known is just how much time it would take. Hello, Buffman. Beautiful. So, I wish I had known the amount of time we spend all day. Well, I spend all day. I have my 2 sons to help me, but primarily it's me. Cleaning out pens or looking for chickens. So who else do we have free range? The other thing you should know about hobby farming is there's always something to do. Always. You're always going to be fixing a fence or cleaning a pen or putting up a new house because you have a new animal you want to, you have a new animal that you want. I'm just checking, there's a goat on the loose. That's okay, we like goats. But you're always going to be doing something. There's never nothing to do. That doesn't mean we never have any time to just sit and watch a movie. I'm just saying, there's always a task. So will a lot of people, there's the goat, but will a lot of people spend their weekends hanging out? Oh no, you're not out. You went back in. Good for you, sweetheart. Good girl, Lily. So a lot of people spend their weekends, this medieval coming towards us, they spend their weekends hanging out, going out on the town. We spend our weekends fixing fences because that's what we do. It's more difficult to travel simply because we have the animals. And something's always happening to someone. That's the final thing I wish I knew. There's always a chicken who's hurt their foot, has bumblefoot, whatever. There's always a horse who's cut his leg on a piece of wire that I didn't see. There's always going to be something happening to someone, right? Chicken up and dies because he's old, and now suddenly you have to get a new rooster. I don't have to get new roosters because I have like 12. But it happens. So, okay, something's always happening to somebody. And I wish I had known that. Because now knowing that, I would have been a little bit more prepared. I would have had conversations with my farm vet a little bit more. I would have prepared better first aid kits for my animals. I would have set up differently if I knew what I know now. So, goats. Hello, girls. Lily's the mom, Arwen's the baby. Out over there is Shadowfax, the star. He's very, very dirty. I swear he's whiter than this. But that's about it for today. Just wanted to show you around a little bit and share some of the information that I have. And there's a piece of wire sticking out. See? This little piece of wire that they just ripped off? That is going to poke someone in the eye. So I'm going to have to go get my staple gun. On that note, say goodnight, Shadowfax, and tune in next time.